Oh, hey YouTube, thanks for checking out my video. This video is going to be about Athlean X's breakfast, his full eating in a day. Of course, my baby starts crying during this moment. So a little bit about Athlean X. Incredible physique. Got the photo up here. Guy's in single-digit body fat percentage. I might be close, but not... Sorry, close to single digits, but not close to him. This guy looks like he may be standing flexed here, maybe not. He's definitely got a pump going, but he's got striations in his chest. It's incredible. I believe the guy is now 40, if not 50 years old. Somehow his physique's improving decade after decade. Whether that's with enhancements from a doctor. Hey, you know, I'm not trying to say this guy is geared up, but it's questionable.
How dare you!
Not the gearing up, I'm saying questionable doing this completely naturally without the help of a doctor. Anyway, so we look a little bit about this guy's background. Hey, if I could have a career like Jeff Cavaliere and have this wealth of knowledge, it's incredible. The clientele that he's working with, you have on his page here, he's working with Sylvester Stallone, so actors. He's working with the New York Mets, you know, physical therapist and assistant strength coach for the Mets during the NLE East Championship in 2006, 2007, 2008. And that's not the limit to the MLB players that he's worked with. This guy's all over. NFL players. You got Greg Jennings, and Pro Bowl wide receiver. He's all over men's health. He's like an author, a writer. He lectures, works with WWE superstars. It's incredible. He's got a photo with Bill Clinton. Like, come on. This guy's doing all right. So, anyway, that's why I don't feel too bad, you know, if I'm going to rag on him a little bit about what this guy eats. Because this guy's a millionaire, no doubt about it. He can afford to either have prepared meals for him, or at least, even if it's a time crunch thing, there's ways that he could improve his breakfast. Now, most of this video is going to be a genuine reaction. Some of it is going to be because I did have a sneak peek about what his breakfast looked like. So
today I'm going to answer a question that has been asked to me at least 10,000 times, and that is, Jeff, what is it that you eat? Show us what you eat in a day, everything you eat in a day. I want to know. I have to say that there's been some hesitance to make the video, and the reason why is because I understand that this topic of nutrition is something that leads to a lot of dogmatic beliefs in nutrition, right? When you think about it, people can be...
Okay, so that's a fair comment. He doesn't really want to make the video to begin with, but it sounds like it's mostly because he's afraid of the reactions people are going to get. And fair. You have vegans, you have people like
telling you, like, hey, you shouldn't be eating meat. Well, like,
hey, if you got medical reasons that you need to be, like, I have irritable bowel syndrome. If I didn't have chicken or other lean meats, like, they're a staple for me to not have intense abdominal cramping and bloating every day. So, I mean, there's plenty of other medical conditions.
Become very emphatic about what they recommend for eating. And I empathize with that because I understand where the root of it is. The root of it is that a lot of times people will struggle with nutrition. They will have huge emotional struggles with nutrition. So when they finally figure out an approach that works for them.
Oh man, emotional struggles with nutrition. I can relate to that too. Hey, just the other day, my wife is just going ahead and saying to me, like, hey, you know, maybe you should, like, help me out. Like,
if I'm sitting on the couch and, you know, you see me eating a sleeve of Oreos, you know, you should tell me not to.
She's preparing her lunches for the work week, trying to get into a diet. I see that she has a little pack of nuts. Now, I don't view nuts as a good weight loss food. Are they nutrient dense? Absolutely. Hey, and can it be a part of a weight loss diet? It can be. It's also an issue where you really got to be careful of portioning out your food, looking at that and saying, like, okay, this little tub here is like 300 calories. I might not be able to stop there, even if I know that in 45 minutes, all of those fats will actually help satiate me, all the protein there. But typically, you know, what's my point? That led to about a 45-minute argument with my wife. So
they want others to
I'm
know
with
about
Jeff
it,
on
and
this.
sometimes a little bit maybe
a lot of
strongly.
emotions.
But I believe that if you can find an approach that works for you, that you can stay consistent with, that's not going to sacrifice your health in the process, then I'm all on board for it. So with that being said, I'm going to share my approach with you, understanding though,
45-minute argument, by the
there
way.
might be some triggers in this video. Triggers in the case of the use of a microwave. Now I understand, guys, that some people are against the use of microwaves. I use it as a tool of convenience. As a matter of fact, I lost a mother.
Who's against using a microwave?
To a rare abdominal cancer. She happened to sit in close proximity in the kitchen, oftentimes to a microwave oven. I'm not saying there was a connection there.
Now that's really sad, but that's sad. But at the same time, like, you living in the United States, I don't know anybody who does not rely on the microwave. I mean, especially if you're meal prepping as a bodybuilder, can you throw something in the oven? Sure, but if you're on a time crunch.
I actually have that in the back of my mind, but I still use a microwave. There's also going to be the inclusion of carbohydrates. I do not avoid carbohydrates. There are some that do. I'm just showing and sharing with you what I eat. There's also...
Yeah, people are criticizing about carbs.
Proteins here, and again, I understand
some very strong opinions on that.
Behind avoiding animal proteins in a diet. I am not one of them that does that, but I certainly can empathize again with the belief system. I understand where it comes from. I also use sugar substitutes, and I know a lot of people are very much against the use of sugar substitutes. I am not necessarily one of them, but I'm certainly not relying on them. It's just, again, a tool of convenience and one that allows me to get to where I want to be when used sparingly.
Sugar substitutes are an incredible way to lose weight. Now, it's like whether they're going to be causing you cancer and whatnot. I'm not sure that there's strong enough data out there to suggest that there is. It wouldn't be on the shelves if it was really that much of a problem. Now, try to get your sugars and whatnot from fruits, but still, like an artificial sweetener, if you have to choose between regular Coke and Diet Coke because you just cannot, like that is your food that you need in your diet to adhere to a plan, not necessarily drink. Artificial sweeteners it is.
Even the cinnamon I use has
better than being 500 pounds.
And I'm glad to tell you guys that I've switched now from the cashew cinnamon to Ceylon cinnamon. If you want to look that up yourself, you can find out why. But apparently, the Ceylon cinnamon is much healthier for the liver than cashew cinnamon. That being said, with all those triggers out of the way, I want to break down my meal.
How much cinnamon is this guy eating?
This is what it looks like for me. My breakfast. I've covered this in the past, guys.
Maybe every day.
I actually have oatmeal, egg whites, and skim milk. Now, before you say, oh my God, it's as boring as I thought it was going to be. Guys, I wouldn't be able to eat just plain oatmeal for as long as I have and still enjoy it. The key for me is you better enjoy the foods that you're eating or you're not going to be able to stay consistent. If you can't stay consistent, it's going to turn into what I hate, which is a short-term diet plan that you won't be able to stick to. I have to make these foods taste better, and what I do is I create something here called pumpkin walnut oatmeal. Now, I'm going to show you guys all the brands here, too. I'm not going to announce them, but I'm going to just...
All right, let's back that up here.
And what I do is I create something here called pumpkin walnut oatmeal.
Pumpkin walnut oatmeal. It's got the old-fashioned oats from just whatever you can pick up. No problem there. It's got the butter-flavored syrup. Now, like that would be something that he can definitely go ahead and find a zero-calorie syrup, but I'm not trying to criticize him here about how many calories he's eating.
I'm going to show you guys all the brands here, too. I'm not going to announce them, but I'm going to just point them out so you can see exactly what it is I'm using. And in this case, I'm actually showing you that I do have a cup of oatmeal. So that's about 300 calories of dry oats, right? I will give you some estimates at the bottom of each of these foods here so you have an estimate of the caloric consumption here. I include some Ceylon cinnamon.
Man, I wish I could eat like that. Man, having IBS sucks. You try having that much oatmeal, you're going to be having abdominal cramp and bloating for the next 4 hours. It's rough.
Some pumpkin pie spices. I add in just a little bit of maple syrup, kind of making one round trip around the container there. And then I add in some skim milk just to cover the oats, probably about 4 ounces or so. And then I put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. Now, while that's going, I go back now and I start to prepare my egg whites. Now, again, guys, I do not have anything against the yolk in an egg. It's just, again, a matter of convenience. I buy these egg whites in these cartons here, and I'm able to just use...
What's it doing? I have no problem with that oatmeal. That looked like it would taste all right. Now, hey, if it were me, that oatmeal I'd be tossing in, like, if you go to Costco and buy that bag of mixed berries, it's got blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, what else does it have in there? Whatever. If you dump in, like, quarter cup of berries in there, whew, that makes oatmeal amazing. Sometimes even if you want that peanut buttery flavor, you could throw in some PB2, some walnuts. But so far, so good. I'm not sure what the heck he's doing here with this.
These egg whites is a tool of convenience. I have about 7 to 10 of them on a morning. I fill up this fairly large microwave
7 to 10 egg whites,
bowl
okay.
here, and I put it in the microwave itself for 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
When I was in high school, I was doing this type of thing. Hey, man, as busy as this guy might be, I'm sure he's running multiple businesses. I mean, you heard what he's doing. And he's still trying to keep up with the Athlean X YouTube thing. But, man, you could throw into a baking dish. And then this is how you could even meal prep it. You could throw it in a baking dish, like your 20 plus. I mean, if you're doing 7 to 10, then do like 50 eggs, okay? So you can get Monday to Friday taken care of. You lay out some kale, you lay out some spinach, you throw in some grape tomatoes, maybe even chop up some bell peppers in there. You can make this far tastier.
Seconds. Again, there's the use of the microwave.
Microwave
now,
some egg whites right now.
When the other oatmeal comes out, here's the secret. I put in my favorite ingredient, which is pumpkin. And before you guys run and go buy the wrong kind, make sure
Pumpkin's delicious.
buying canned pumpkin.
It's good at.
Not canned pumpkin pie mix, which is loaded with sugar. Tastes really good, but it's loaded with sugar. Instead, I have just plain old canned pumpkin, probably one of the healthiest things you can put in your body. And it does two things. Number one, it actually adds some real nice texture.
Even that, with IBS, I'm limited to like
it helps to cool off
a quarter cup or less.
Really hot oatmeal that comes out of the microwave, so it makes it edible at a lot faster pace. Something that's, again, very
If you get IBS, man, shit will ruin your gains. It's
convenient
tough.
to me. Now I added my sweetener. In this case, this is Splenda brown
Lost
sugar.
40-something pounds before I figured out how to rebuild my diet.
A little bit of a pinch here of Splenda brown sugar.
You hear how hesitant?
Add in quite a few handfuls here.
These fans must be
walnuts,
ruthless.
fats, and then I have a little bit of dried oats for texture. And I'm almost done. Because one thing that catches people by surprise is I also include a bit of whipped cream here. I love whipped cream.
Whipped cream?
And guys, calorically, it's adding minimally to the overall impact of the
If he's mixing this much stuff together, it's not a time thing. I don't understand what he's doing with these egg whites. The oatmeal looks great.
This is a great tasting oatmeal. I promise you, if you try it, you're going to love it.
And not only that, he could increase the macros if he were to have been throwing in those fruits that I was talking about. Berries are extremely
So now you can
nutritious
see
for
when the egg
macros.
whites come out, I added something I
said
talked about
macros,
before.
micros.
I have pickled ginger.
Ooh. You see that? Does that look appetizing to you?
I put on top, believe me, it's not gross. It's actually really, really
Pickled
good.
ginger.
Some pickled ginger on top of the egg whites, and then I put some salsa on top of that. As I mentioned earlier, my glass of skim milk.
That looks disgusting. Why? There's no way that tastes good. At least when he was stirring in the bowl, he could have stirred in the salsa to make it like...
And I'm ready to go. That's my breakfast. If you were to total this up, guys, with these estimates here, you're going to get to be about 800.
Look at that. Okay. Clearly, his oatmeal looks absolutely tasty. But that's some sort of frat boy. Like, again, in high school, I was doing that type of thing. This guy, like, get the grape tomatoes. Listen, if it's spinach, if it's kale, you don't even have to cut that shit up. Just dump it right in the pan, mix it up. It would have taken him no extra time, would have increased his macros tremendously. His overall feelings of wellness would have increased. And it would have tasted a lot better.
Calories. Now we move on. I'm going to cover the major meals, and I'll get back to what happens in between. The next up is lunch. And when it comes to lunch, guys, one of the favorite things I like to eat is a grilled chicken wrap. But on this grilled chicken wrap, delicious. I'm getting not just a lot of chicken, but I'm also getting a lot of vegetables. In this case today, it was, I believe, zucchini and eggplant, and a little bit of onion. And that's all grilled up in olive oil, and I put...
Those are more watery vegetables, but the macros are still good. Like, I think a cup of eggplant is like 20 calories. It's a great choice.
And I have hot sauce in here for some moisture.
A lot of veggies are going to go ahead and keep your gut feeling full and satiated. It takes up a lot of room. It's definitely a good choice.
I also have some pesto. That is my grilled chicken wrap, contributing about 575 calories. Again, depending upon what you put on.
Now look at the size. Look at the size of that sandwich. 575 calories. This is a great choice. It's a lot of veggies. He went ahead and told you he's using hot sauce. That's a super low-calorie condiment.
These things and how big they are. This is a big one. They can vary pretty greatly. But the fact is, this one's about
mustard is another great choice.
And then, as you'll see here, I have a whole-fat yogurt with whipped cream. So that comes out to be about 700.
Again with the whipped cream? 755 calories.
We move
on. Got a higher calorie.
Here I start with a soup.
I do too.
In this case, it was actually a tomato.
If you have sweetened Greek yogurt, why do you need... How about it's like... Why? Why are you putting all this whipped cream on stuff?
Just an orzo. And it has some chicken in this as well. I sprinkle some of these crackers here on top. I'm looking at about 225 calories. This is how I like to start my meal. Right? Pretty much a variation of a...
That's a smart choice of a soup, too. Don't be afraid of salt. Salt's got 0 calories. I mean, unless your doctor's telling you got a blood pressure issue or otherwise. That chicken orzo soup, it's got the tomatoes, it's got plenty of protein. That's a good
to start my meal. And then for the dinner itself, you guys are probably pretty familiar with this meal. I showed it to you, and if you haven't already seen it, the video where I break down how I divide my plate up, because there's actually a rationale behind the division of the plate. I think you should watch that video so you can understand the concept, but it's actually played out in full force right here on this plate. And this is my grilled chicken occupying a large portion of my plate. Not quite done yet, because I'm going to make it taste a little bit better. I couldn't just eat plain grilled chicken. Again.
His lighting sucks, but this looks delicious.
Consistency. You have to like what you're eating. And then I have two sources of my...
Look at that. Got a very small amount of pasta. I mean, don't be afraid of bread, but like...
starchy carbohydrates. Hey, I have some pasta.
He's got a lot more veggies sitting there.
Sweet potatoes. It has a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of butter in it as well.
Sweet potatoes.
And then I have as my main vegetable, my fibrous vegetable for the night, I have corn. A lot of times this could be broccoli.
Grilled chicken.
This could be Brussels sprouts. This could be asparagus.
That is going to fill his gut up.
I actually have
a great choice.
A large portion of the plate covered by this other fibrous vegetable. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not quite done. I'll take something and put it on top of my chicken. Tonight it happens to be a mango ginger salsa that I put on top. Again, ginger making its way into my meal plan, as I recommended to you strongly in a video in the past.
Sounds all right.
The benefits that it provides. Of course, I have this meal with some
with the IBS,
water.
I can't eat mangoes. I can't eat. It's like, what a pain in the ass. I think he should have showed his viewers, though, like how much water he drinks in a day. That would have been a good ad. Just explaining to them that, hey, if you do water first, fill your gut up. Another tip generally is eating, veggies most. Those two tips, if you're trying to lose weight and this is your first time going about it, water first, veggies most, and just slowing down when you're eating. Those things will help your gut. Those little nerve endings send the signal to your brain that you're satiated a little bit earlier on so you don't binge.
Low seltzer is more interesting
I'm sure he's
than
doing
water
it. I'm
for
just
me.
saying
It
it would
allows
be.
me to be a bit more consistent with the intake and consumption of my liquids and keep staying hydrated throughout the day.
Once again, I'm jealous, man. Even the seltzer, so I can't have that because that will give me like the GERD, have acid coming up my throat. Pain in the ass. Like my whole eating life
even though I didn't show it my other meals,
changed. So I can't have carbonated beverages.
That meal there totals 975 calories. But I'm not quite done. Now, I know that the running joke is that I have my carrot cake just once a year, but I actually have dessert every single night. And I have it in the form of...
Okay, he has dessert every single... I'm waiting for him
or in
to...
this case, a fat-free vanilla
Fat-free ice cream, vanilla bean.
I'm not hung up on the fat-free nature of it. I'm just trying to pick something a little bit
sugar added.
slimmer in the terms of... I'm not looking for a Rocky Road marshmallow sundae. Right? I'm looking for something that's a little bit more bare bones because I enjoy it.
I don't know why people ripped on this so much. I mean, the breakfast that was pretty rough with the eggs.
I enjoy. Once again, some whipped cream on top.
Just wait, there's no whipped cream.
280 calories.
There's no way. I mean, who wants whipped cream 3 times in one? Whatever.
If you were to total all that up, you're looking at about a total caloric intake of 2,860 calories. And this is, again, a very rough estimate.
But man, this guy is like Skeletor. His skin is incredibly tight for his age. It's amazing. Like, hats off to him.
I am not eating 1,300 calories a day. I'm not eating 1,800 calories a day. I'm also not eating 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day. I'm eating right about the range that I should for my body type. And again, I carry a lot of lean mass, so I'm able to support this. The fact is, guys, I'm also pretty damn active. As you can imagine, for my job, I do active things for a living.
I don't think anybody's doubting that, dude.
This particular calorie amount is what allows me to stay about right where I need to be. It could be different for you. So going and copying this entire meal plan, meal by meal, may not be the secret to...
100% agreed with what he just said. So if you are trying to lose weight, don't use any of those online calculators that are telling you how many calories that you need to eat to go ahead and maintain your body weight. As many people are afraid of the scale, step on the scale every morning. And over the course of a week, what is that average? Because you have bowel movements, you have certain amounts of water, bloating. So you weigh yourself every single day, keeping track. On average, I weigh about this much. And if you're weighing out your portions of what you're eating, then okay, if I eat 2,000 calories, plus, hey, weighing out your food is a great way for you to know the caloric value of the foods that you're eating throughout a day. And it's a great learning tool for somebody who's trying to lose weight. Anyway. So, like I said, you weigh out your food, you find out how many calories have I been eating on a daily basis, and where is my weight? Is my weight increasing? Is my weight staying the same? Is my weight decreasing? So if your weight's already staying the same, hey, it's this many calories that you're eating. That it's 3,500 calories for you to lose a pound. My recommendation would be maybe, hey, can you try to cut 100 calories out? You do that over the course of a week, it's 700 calories. Few weeks you've lost a pound. I mean, or if you want to be more aggressive with it, but yeah.
Your success, but it at least gives you an idea of what it is that I'm taking in and how I actually break it down. Now, not shown here in this video is what happens in between these meals. Do I snack? Do I have anything? I do. And as a matter of fact, I kind of left out the details here because I didn't want to make it into a supplement commercial. And I don't want to be forcing you guys to feel as if you need to use my supplements. It's what I use. I believe that I have the best supplements out there, and I know what goes into every single bottle, so I trust them. But if you want to know in full disclosure what I use on a given day, I have my protein shake, my RX2, every single day, whether I train or whether I don't. And at the end of the day, I always have my RX3 for muscle recovery. Again, it's not very highly caloric. It's just 20 calories, actually. It's just there to help support my harder efforts earlier in the day in the gym to help me.
Now, I can't necessarily endorse the supplements. I've not read up on them.
Consumption for me in a day.
You can do that as a separate video.
My recommendation to you guys is that, number one, this concept of you versus me is incredibly important. If you want to look at this and say, I don't like any of that, or you know what, those triggers do set me off, and I don't really agree with something in that meal plan, then don't eat it. Don't force yourself to eat this because I guarantee you one thing, you will not be able to stay consistent with this. And consistency is the key when it comes to nutrition. You have to be able to like what you eat so you can consistently eat.
All right, folks, I think this is about wrapping it up in terms of the good content. Hey, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, click the bell so you know when the next video comes out. I've got a whole bunch of videos with fitness tips. I'm going to be doing follow-along workouts. This type of video is just for fun. I'm going to do them periodically. Hopefully, bring some viewers into the channel. No qualms with Jeff Cavaliere. I subscribe to his channel. Absolutely. He's got incredible workout tips. So, thanks for watching. Take it easy.